What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another Diablo 4 video, and today I have for you all some Fireball Sorcerer build updates regarding some new gear that was put into the game this week, as well as some Paragon board optimizations that I made just to improve the damage of the build a little bit more. Before we get into all that though, I just want to thank you all for watching the videos. Please make sure to like or share if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, or consider subscribing for more Diablo 4 content. So with that, let's get right into the build updates. So the new gear that was put into the game this week are some new unique rings for each class. The ones that Sorcerer got is Talrasha's Iridescent Loop. This gives you a stacking damage buff for each type of elemental damage that you deal. So I changed the build around very slightly to be able to play around this. And right now I'm able to stack 4 different types of elemental damage, which gives me 56% extra multiplied damage overall. So that's a lot of damage we didn't have before. This ring is very, very good, and I would recommend that you try to get this as soon as you can. It drops off Varshan, one of the Uber bosses. And so what I took out for this was this ring here, which gave me the chance to restore mana. So what that change does is the build is going to be a little bit more mana starved than it was before. However, your fireball is doing a lot more damage, so stuff will be dying a lot faster, meaning that you will have to cast less fireballs. So in general, you should need less mana than you did before. So you don't really feel the loss of this too much. There might be a time or two where you just run out of mana, but you have options like Inferno to give you infinite mana while it's up, or you also have a bunch of defensives that you can use to like wait out enemies or kite around if you need to, or you could just spam some frostbolts. So you have options in case you ever do run out of mana, but I feel like the damage trade-off is worth it for losing this. I don't like losing control for this just because, like I said, I feel like doing more damage is better. This makes it so that you can kill elites in like 3 or 4 fireballs, whereas if you had this, you might need to cast like 3 or 4 more fireballs. So I don't think the trade-off is worth it. I think the way it is now is pretty good. For bosses, I will still swap out my defensive pants for Tybalt's Will, as well as Accursed Touch for Metamorphosis. And I do that just so I can have more consistent mana uptime for the bosses, because no matter what, on bosses, you're just going to run out of mana because they just take so long to kill. Um, so that is the only thing I do as far as gear changing goes, like in a dungeon. And then as far as the rest of the gear goes, nothing really changed. Everything else is identical to before. So the way that you play with this ring is it doesn't really change the playstyle all that much. You're pretty much going to be spamming fireballs the majority of the time. The only thing you have to do is stack the buffs for this once and then go back to spamming fireballs and you're good to go. And the way that you stack the buffs for this is with Frostbolt and Teleport. So Frostbolt is going to give you cold damage, which is going to give you 1 buff. You just have to hit something with this once, and then that buff will keep refreshing with Fireball. Same thing goes for Teleport. You just have to teleport onto something once. It'll do some lightning damage, and then you can refresh that buff with Fireball. And then after you have those two, you can just keep spamming Fireball. Fireball is going to give you fire damage, which is your 3rd source, and it's also going to give you poison damage from Infection, which is our 4th source. So once you hit something with enough fireballs, it'll proc some poison damage, which will give you that last damage buff. So that's really all you have to do. It doesn't really change the playstyle that much. If you ever notice the buffs fall off, just make sure you hit something with a Frostbolt again, use your teleport, and then go back to spamming fireballs. And that is pretty much it. For the skill tree, nothing really changed. It is identical to before. The enchants are the same. We're still running Frostbolt for the chill, Firebolt for the burning. And then the Paragon board, I swapped out a couple glyphs just to give us more multiplied damage than before. So on this board, I was running Control, which I moved up here. On this board, I used to run Enchanter, which gives us non-physical damage. And I was mostly using that to scale this and this. However, this was overscaling, so in reality, we were actually losing multiplicative damage because this only goes up to 30, and I was going well past 30. So this was pretty much overkill. We were losing out on some damage. So I took that out for control here. I also took out this little cluster here because it's not really the end of the world to have. Um, on this board, I took out 2 points here for some resistances, just to improve the resistances of the build a little bit more. This board is pretty much identical, as is this board. Um, and then the only thing that changed on the last board is the glyph as well. I took out territorial, which I was mostly running for DR. However, we kill stuff so fast now, and the build is still already pretty tanky that I don't think we need this. So I just put in exploit just to help out with our boss damage a little bit more. And I would say that's pretty much it for the changes to the build. Not much really changed overall, as you guys can see, but what you're going to notice is that the damage is a lot better now. So I have a dungeon here I'm going to play now where you guys can see the new build with the ring. You're going to notice that stuff is dying a lot faster, and the boss damage is also very improved. I was going from like 50-second to a minute boss kills down to like 30 to 40 seconds now, which is very nice. So enjoy the dungeon, guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions regarding the build updates or how to play around the ring, and I will answer them for you. So with that, I will be talking to you all soon. Later.